As far as like the setup, when we were practicing those years, what was that, a 4-track, an 8-track?
8-track.
8-track, and then you had some rack mount, like what were them rack mount things?
I had a Digitech effects processor, 256 different studio effects, and sonic enhancer, compressor noise gate.
That's what type of pedal were you running?
None.
Oh, no pedal?
No pedals.
Because I remember we had some illusions, or maybe I just did of that resurrected that, what, a heavy metal pedal or whatever it was called. What's that pedal?
American metal.
American metal.
Yeah.
We have a little bit of romance going on with that.
And for the solos, I used a Rocktron Chameleon preamp.
I guess as far as influences for Goblin, personally, I grew up probably 5 years old, listening to Kiss, and really liked them. And then surely some older kids in the neighborhood introduced me to Black Sabbath. They liked stuff like Ted Nugent. I still like Ted Nugent. Scorpions, and then obviously all the heavy metal stuff, Iron Maiden, Ozzy solo stuff, and all the heavy metal shit. As far as my vocals, surely when I first started singing with Hideous Manglius, I was singing more, initially probably hardcore, and then I started more like a scream, and then that evolved, probably within the first couple months, that evolved into like the growl. Surely inspired by Lee Dorian of Napalm Death, and probably to some extent, maybe a little bit of Chaotic Plague. That's another local band, and Ross from Immolation. But I don't know what it is about that growl style. I really, I just like it. I just like singing like that, and I might not be the quote unquote heaviest on earth or any of that bullshit, but I just enjoyed singing that way. So that's really how that came about.
It really adds more to the music. I mean, you can't sing like Vince Neil or Stephen Pearcy over heavy tuned-down guitars.
Yeah, it's definitely, when a song like Sunday Got Torn Apart, it's the vocal. I actually think that the growl vocal, some people get upset because you can't quote-unquote understand what they're saying. And that's, to some extent that may be true, but it's almost like in any style of singing, I suppose the lyric or the singing is a quote-unquote an instrument, but in a sense I view it as like an extra instrument because it just adds to the heaviness of the riff.
That's why the lyrics are on the CD.
If you want to know the lyrics, I mean, I know, mentioned Hideous Manglius, like people like Chris Henry, they come to the show, and he knew the lyrics, and nobody else in the crowd may have, but which brings up Goblin. Actually, we never played live. We did audition, I think, one time. And what year would that have been? About when we auditioned?
1998.
Jared Altamari, who went on to play with Avicium, and now he's playing in Mordmart, which is the 3 other guys that were in Hideous Manglius. Joel Bondy, Jason Phoebe, Kurt Bondy, and who was the bass player's name?
Bass player.
I don't recall.
We never auditioned any bass players. There was another drummer named Damien.
Oh, wasn't there 2 people there that time? We went across from that tattoo place in Manassas. The kid that actually had the apartment, wasn't he on bass?
Yeah, I don't remember his name.
Oh, I don't recall either. But anyway, as far as we auditioned some guys, and Jared, I think he would admit this himself. I think he was a little bit. It just didn't click. So, and so that didn't work out. In a way, maybe that led to, in part, to what when we what year was that we broke up or we stopped getting together? What, about 2001?
End of 2001.
2001, and theoretically, maybe if we would have had a full band and started playing gigs, I don't know what would have, it's anybody's guess what would have, could have, should have happened. But I guess that'll lead us into how long into our quote-unquote career, or whatever the fuck we want to call it, did we record our demo?
3 years, 2000, we recorded it, early 2000.
Okay, did at that time, when we recorded our demo, we had quite a few songs more than demo, but we chose those four songs plus the cover of Motley Crue's "Come On and Dance."
Yes.
And then theoretically, I guess we were gonna start work, or we pretty much have a lot of songs at least somewhat written for what was gonna be the Born to Darkness record or whatever LP, whatever CD, fuck it, whatever. But
We kept procrastinating.
about getting that started.
Yeah, we were just like, we'll do 5 songs and we'll do the full length, and we procrastinated.
We
Never did the full length album.
and I guess in theory, if we would have recorded a full length album, my guess would be that not all the demo songs, but my guess would be that some of the demo songs would have wound up being on the full length album. At this point, if and when we ever do anything again, I guess this is undetermined. There probably wouldn't. I just personally, I think we would just. I don't have any intentions of ever re-recording any of those demo songs as far as if we would ever get together to do our record or whatever.
I think Goblin would be worth doing over.
Yeah.
It's
No, I
probably
mean,
the one.
I'm not saying I would. I'm just saying in general, maybe just because. I mean, well, speaking of our record, here it is. The artwork was done by Seanocide, and put out by Ecocentric Records. Matthias Weigand, I don't know how to pronounce his name unfortunately, but I've never spoken to him in person. But thank you, Matt and Sean, for putting our music out, and I don't know. I'm not really sure what else to talk about that we haven't addressed. As far as some of our other songs, is there anything you particularly want to talk about that you don't think we've addressed?
Probably the songs that we didn't record.
Well, I know, speaking of those songs, one of them is Silent Serenade. I know that's, oddly enough, I've heard that that's a quote-unquote fan favorite, even though it's not technically going on a demo.
Yeah, I've heard that too. No recording of it really was a demo recording. It wasn't
Yeah.
anything good.
That'd be neat. I'd really like to redo that song. I mean, when I listen to a lot of our songs that people don't even know exist, I mean, on this release, you know, you get to hear some of the songs that weren't on the demo. Theoretically, would have been on the Born to Darkness record, LP, CD, whatever, fucking MP3.